Junior, go grab a different chair.
I don't know if we're live. How can we tell if we're live if someone's watching?
You're live.
Huh?
You're live, yeah. Yeah.
6 viewers, 8. We're ready to start, but we had a bat problem when we came in this room. There was a bat, and all these guys are scared to pick it up or something. So I'm just gonna have to be the cameraman. So, who wants to be the cameraman? Is anyone else coming together?
I think Darian.
Ask Darian. That's okay. So Rocky and Yo-Yo ain't here yet, but they'll be here. I'll introduce some of the guys. Nate, little child. Nate, little child, again, the little one. Tevin, Me Too's, Thunder Child Sage, Scabby Jalen Paskiman, and Sir Dion Paskiman. Oh, yeah. My daughter, who is single, Jolie. Trina. Ali, single or not? Nate's wife. Yeah, I have to show off. And the baby. And me, Mr. Dressup. So. Yeah, we sang about a month ago, and then after that, a lot of people requested us to come back again, and also too because last time when we went on, there was a lot of. And here's the camera lady, Darian, my daughter-in-law. Ever since we started singing, whenever we practice, and it's still like that to this day, whenever we sing there, all of a sudden there'll be just like a big gap between me there, all of a sudden all the guys just pile over there. And just like a seat extra here, like no one ever wants to sit by me. That's because I you stink. Yeah, so we got a lot of requests last time to sing old songs, so that's what we said. We'll come back and sing a lot of our old songs. So, which songs you guys know?
One's in the ones we know.
Yeah, the ones that I sent them 7 songs. Sing a warm-up song or something before so we clear out the cobwebs, but I guess we'll just go. So this song was composed in 1989, I believe. It's just a basic song, just calling out the dancers to come and dance. Just dance. Have fun. time, I'll try to start it off, but if I don't laugh.
Going into the bathroom.
Perrier, if you're watching. But one thing, ladies and gentlemen, Sir Adrian Cross, known as Yo-Yo. We also got our new CDs out. They were on you could get them online, but we got CDs finally. Our new Round End CD we made back in December or January. So a lot of the songs. Last time we always had a lot of complaints that I wasn't talking, where the guys weren't talking loud enough. So a lot of the songs, the older songs that we used to sing back in the 80s, 90s, they're kind of long, but kind of long songs, like where maybe a minute or so over per verse. So each verse would come up to 1 minute, and 4 verses would come up to over 4 minutes a song. And in today's day and age of powwow, everyone, if you go over 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes, everyone considers that a long song. So it's just but back in the 80s, when I started out, in the 90s, it was the normal for songs to be that long. And plus too, all the intertribals were like six starts. So imagine a song would go on 6 minutes or more. And but back then, dancers just couldn't get enough of it. Everywhere, all the drum groups that sang long songs, it was just a great time for me to start out. I was lucky to be a part of that era. And then today, if we sing a song that long, dancers will complain that it was too long, and say that they'll tell us, the singers, that you should dance, and then you'll know how hard it is there. But so we try to come along with I always try to compose my songs to be about 3 minutes, 2 to 2.5, 2 3-minute songs. There for contest songs nowadays. But yeah. So the next song, which one?
So quiet.
Some of the other ones I sent them 6, 7 songs. Which one sounds? You guys want to do that weird tongue twister or not, Dave? That's one you just sang, eh? This one. So this next song was composed from our bro Marv Thunderchild. It's they call it the Saskatchewan River song because that's what the words in there talks about. Saskatchewan River, to go home to our Saskatchewan River. Well, Nate, you want to say a couple words?
Yeah.
Just say when you started singing, how you started singing, maybe.
I started singing 1999. And I remember my first powwow was in North Battleford. And these guys were there. I had just started singing, just started learning how to hit the drum. And I remember hearing these guys sing, and I was just blown away. Got into it, really kept singing, practicing, and then I met Yo-Yo. And 2 years later, he asked if I wanted to come sing. And I said, yeah, sure. So I still remember the first time I sang with Blacksmith. Terry wasn't there at the time, but his brother Randy. Terry's my cousin, and Randy. But I didn't know that until after the fact. Anyways, we were in Grand Round, Oregon, and we were singing Grand Entry. And there was only 6 or 7 guys there. And at the time, I wasn't one to lead. I was just, doing the solid ways and the hutchas and whatnot. And Randy threw me a lead, and I couldn't back down. So I did it, and got that out of the way. And so since 2001, I've been singing with them off and on for a while there. Had a group with Yo-Yo called Perfect Storm, but we've come back and started singing again, and it feels good. Actually, I was just telling my wife on the way up here to come sing. I said I'm excited because it's been a long time since I've sang like December at San Manuel. It was the last time I got to sing with the group, so it feels good. You can tell by my voice, it's been a while. Kind of already losing it after 2 songs, but still feels good to be here around the guys. That's what I miss, being around here, sitting here with the guys and joking around. And it's always a fun time here. It's always good to sing with my cousin and the drum and all the guys.
They want to interview you.
So, people are asking to talk to you on the people.
It's been so long.
That's another one. Oh, people.
You guys were singing that. How did you? Can the camera girl get a drink? Chat.
There's a little bit of words in there, but there's you didn't say the words, but also we just kind of
This live is sponsored by Chat.
Yeah, over the last, after we did the last one, and then we announced that we were going to sing oldies there, but I just asked if there was anyone that wanted to make any requests. So a lot of guys inboxed me, or else replied on the Facebook comment there too. And then, so these are the songs that I just picked out. There's about 7 of them, 8 of them. There's a lot of others that people suggested, but these are the ones that got more than one request. So more than 2 or 3 requests. That's street one.
So you can do the duck.
You're here. Oh, hi. See how long those songs are? Just 3 songs in half hours. First it's okay, then what after that? That's rough. Another one there. So that last
I
song
should have
we
just brought my
sang was,
outfit and danced around.
composed by my brother Daryl.
What chance?
I don't know when. 88 maybe, 87 or 88. First half is wow. The only reason why it has 2 different verses on the first verse it talks about just telling the dancers when you meet to come and enjoy yourselves, have fun, have a good time, I guess, like laughing. Then on the second verse there it talks about telling the singers when they come out, that's where it's supposed to be a little change, just a little. When they come out to come and we'll all have fun, we'll all have a good time. Laugh first verse is wow. The first verse is about the dancers. Either way makes sense. What do you guys want to say?
Lee Thunderchild said, ask him if he remembers that song they used to sing. It's about saying thank you in 7 languages.
Who's that?
Lee Thunderchild. Mario can sing it.
Where's your dad?
Said he was gonna be here at 7:30.
What time is it? 7:34. But you guys know what the one. So this song was made in 1905. 1996. It was on that album of Buffalo Cloud album. That was also too one of the had a lot of requests too. The whole album itself there. So just sing nothing but Buffalo Cloud. It's also one of our most popular. But this song was my late dad's one of his favorites. I don't know if I can read any more voices. We'll just cut. If I can't read it high enough, we'll just say cut, and when the sons take over. After the first verse, it's supposed to be the first one, only come with first aid. Because you're saying, Powwow, you too. Powwow, Unimito. Did you realize it too? How about you? No, I didn't care.
I'm just following you.
Like, what did I hear?
I was just singing that second one first.
So he goes, yeah, it was opposite way around there, the words. I didn't realize that you were singing.
Every time you did that first one.
Well, as if you guys couldn't make that. If it was at practice like the old days, then we would just stop right there. And, take two. I was telling Jalen on the way here, I was the songs to all the guys that are here, but the only one I forgot to send him is to Jalen there, but he knows most of the songs, so, but, we're going to that one old, that one there, the tongue twister. And then we're going, well, what about that song? He said, you didn't add me on that chant. And I said, well, that's when you gotta believe in the drum, and you'll pick it up there, and I'm just gonna be going, ba, 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 ba.
People are requesting a side step.
Huh?
A side step. Ash, come hold the camera.
Actually, I'm requesting.
Rocky's watching, but he's not here. Welcome to the party. We said he's watching, but he's not here.
We gotta open our mouth and rock will carry us. Okay.
As a side step, and everybody's saying double lead too.
That double lead one? Well, that's a double lead, that one I sent you guys, and also too, it has a solo in there too.
Just feel scared. Maybe that would be We'll take turns doing the solo. Who else has a good nice voice? Probably You'll be doing those, the whole first verse, and then the next second verse. I'm done, boys, I can't. So do the first one, start off the first beat like that, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, myself. I started them off. Start to give out. Virtual whistle. Cha.
Does anyone ever go an hour, over an hour on there, or thou shalt not go over an hour?
Ask Wiki. He should be on there.
He's on here.
Trying to do 3 more. Tongue twister on? Yeah.
Say hey, Southern tip.
Whitney said go 2 hours. He said go 2 hours. No time limit for these classics, he said.
We'll get it. You guys want to tell a story tonight? Write it down there while someone's telling a story.
Brent said that song still haunts me.
Run here and come this side and I don't know. They'll write it down. They'll know the tiny letters.
You. One of you guys. Rock, paper, scissors. Check.
Can you guys see that from that far?
All right, well, hello, everybody out there. So, my name is Rocky Morin, so I'm from Enoch. We're in Enoch right now, by the way, so this building we're singing in right now, it's the Culture and Language Department building. So it's always good when you get to come together and sing, especially the old songs. Like there's just something about, I think, that time for me, anyways. Early '90s, throughout the '90s, singing some of the old songs from then. It just brings back a flood of the good memories. Traveling, meeting people, different powwows. So to be able to sing those songs is extra special. And I'm always grateful to the song makers. I always acknowledge the song makers. My big brother there, Terry, my nistes, Randy, Adrian, Dion. These are guys that have been making a lot of the songs for the group over the years. So to me, it's I think it's like an art form, really, to be able to kind of come up with some of these songs and the lyrics and the hooks and just the whole flow, and then for to see the dancers react to it, that's pretty awesome too. So I just want to give a shout out to all the song makers out there, because without these songs, we wouldn't be able to sing, and dancers wouldn't be able to dance. So, and it's just like to have the drum and everything come together, the songs, the energy, the dancers, the whole powwow itself. It's something that, as singers, as dancers, I guess we all kind of know that that feeling that we're always chasing, I guess. And then with this whole pandemic, it's really forced a lot of us to, I guess,
Yeah, put do not disturb on here. You guys got it? Sorry,
camera girl's sweating over here.
Okay.
Teacher Terry.
So you guys, can you guys read it?
So if you guys can follow along.
Whoever doesn't know it, sit on that side. So the words are right there, whoever doesn't can't get them.
For the rookies. Was that the song we're singing? Yeah. That's not the song I sing the girls. See, that song is called Buffalo Cloud. Okay, I'm just getting all mixed up. Well, you guys know that one. We'll sing the other one. Oh, that's why the girls wanted me to write it down, because they didn't know it. You guys might not know this one today. There's 2 songs we had made for buffaloes, and this is one of them. But the other one I sent to you guys, did you guys learn that one?
Kind of. No, I didn't learn it actually. I'm just kidding.
Most of these guys do.
Driven called it indigenous bars.
Indigenous bars.
Yeah, because it's like, yeah, backwards.
What about this one? You guys know this one? All you guys know this song. We'll get it.
Oh.
And then 3 kings. Stretch my wrist.
Some flags.
Okay, which one next? Which one did he say?
Would have spread more.
Sham Ray's in the back there.
I think it's still steps.
I want Dion to speak.
Huh?
Dion.
Speak quick. Just about starting it there. Yeah, I started this group.
I guess I could start. My name's Dion, and what's my grandma? Well, I used to sing when I was young. Ever since I was a little kid, I sang. We used an old steel washboard pails and sing. And then as the years went by, we attended Powwows all the time. Then it was 86 when me and Carrie were just hanging around at the house. We used to go visit each other. We never did alcohol or drugs, so a lot of times we got so used to being bored. But one time we used to wrestle all the time at the house, and then one day we just sitting around, and next thing you know, we just had a drum there and started singing. It was just me and Terry for a while there. And then he was gifted at singing the leads and all that. And then we got the brothers all involved in it, and the cousins, and we started practicing more. And I think a lot of times we went to different houses to watch, to sing, and we got inspired from the other groups. And then I think the worded songs came out. Then I think it was Morley Powwow and Red Nation was there, and for me, I just loved listening to them. That's the first time I really just heard worded songs. So we came home, we all started making songs that were worded, and from there we just kept on, just practiced so much. Wanted to be wanted to be good at it and also to stay humble. But then I think that's what kept us going on and on. So, thank you.
Joey will be the second. So the old one clean up. Is that all of them?
Side step.
But he said he was gonna change it up for this one. Oh, okay.
I don't know if there are a lot of words there.
Yeah, you said that one was similar.
Cause some controversy here and make yo-yos.
That's what you will laugh.
You can tell me. There's a story there, it's just like I remember right now, it's that rocky boy when we started there. I know it's on your own. The other one we should remember Randy's whole one there. Remember we all sing it? I had a couple times over the past, last year, and the year before. Has just a few words in there.
Oh, there's somebody singing.
Sing a couple verses. Already got it. Easy. You got one. What do you know, spring? That's how long I had to be in school. You know you're doing
interview from Brendan Harvey.
My mouth is full for a tongue talk.
That one, that's the one I know too.
Oh, you guys know that one?
I didn't sing that one, so I was like, just.
I know, everyone knows that one, didn't Show them. That one, you can't sing it really too high. It's just almost, whatever level you're gonna sing on the bass there, you have to lead the lead there. Otherwise, if you sing it, the lead at a regular lead bass, at a lead bass, the rest of the song's gonna stay up there too. Relax. Another song to show. Oh, that, we see that one yet? Show it again. That's the most one. Catch it? Good guy. I'm not used to being on the way here. We're going over that. I didn't know that. I'm not even on any of them chats. I'll be just going, na, 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 na. You're not even on Facebook. Yeah, yeah. Back in our first year in 1987, I went our first road trip to the States there. We went to Fort Belknap, Montana, and we did good there. People treated us good there, and back then there was just a drumming contest there, winner take all drumming contest, but Red Bull ended up winning that one. None of us were. We didn't even think of winning in drum contests back then because we weren't at that level there. But we're just happy to be going, happy to be off our res there and seeing the world there. And so we went to Fort Belknap, and it was good. It was hot, but it was under a big top there, and we just had a little horn there that one of the guys took off the fire truck there, the Sweetgrass fire truck. So we used that 100-watt horn. We had a Radio Shack amp there and one microphone there. So we were good to go, and it did good because of the echo there underneath that big top there in Fort Belknap. It had a good echo, so we did good. We even got a whistle, our first whistle, I think it was. And then, so after that, we got paid. I don't know if we got paid $100 or no, we got maybe $200. So I gave $100 to the other guys that were going back to Saskatchewan, and they were going to come meet us in Rocky Boy because we seen a poster while we're down there and said, well, let's go to Rocky Boy next. So we went, and then six of us stayed. I think six of us, we stayed down there, and we went from Fort Belknap to Rocky Boy. So Monday we got up, we went and washed our clothes there in that town Harlem. After that, we went to, we stopped at that big, that battlefield there, that Chief Joseph battlefield. Stopped there for a bit there. All the guys wanted to stop there. I didn't want to stop there, but when we finally stopped there, I was glad to stop there. And all of a sudden, all these guys, they wouldn't even get out of the vehicle because they seen a sign there. It just said, beware of rattlesnakes there. All of a sudden, none of them would get out of the truck. I was the only one just walking down the trails. They all gave me their portable cameras there, and I was taking pictures with them. So after that, we made it to Harlem, and by the time we got to Havre that evening, we were just starving because we never ate yet that day. And then, so we bought a. First thing we saw when we were pulling into Havre there, we said, boys, Pizza Hut? And all of a sudden, yeah. So we all stopped there. Geez, we just ordered, I don't know how many pizzas there, a bunch of pictures of pop, soda, and then we just picked out. It came up to, and this is 1987 there, so for it to come up to $67 must have been a lot of food, and that just left us with what, $33 left over, and that's supposed to last us till the guys get there on Thursday because the powwow was starting on Thursday. So sure enough, Tuesday came along, and it was so hot over there. We're not used to that kind of weather. Tuesday we went and hung up in the Bear Paw Mountains there, because back then we didn't know anyone in Rocky Boy. We were just a bunch of young punks on the loose there, and we didn't know anyone, and we didn't want to go impose on anyone, so we went up in the hills there trying to cool off, just sitting in those little ditches there where there's a bunch of spring water going down there. We'll be just sitting there, like a few guys there just down on the road there trying to cool off, drinking our spring water. we even climbing those towers there up on top of those big hills there. Then finally that evening we went to Havre again. This time we went to that one supermarket there. It was a 24-hour supermarket there. We went and bought some bologna and stuff. So we survived another day. But then Wednesday came along. This time we had no money. We were starving that day. We just starved, all day. Did we eat that day, or was that the day? Finally, Thursday, that's when Daryl and Marv, the Thunderchild boys, they were all going to be back from Sweetgrass and Thunderchild to come down there. But Thursday morning, still we didn't eat. So we usually myself, I don't steal, but one of my our one cousin there, our little brother there, Oren, all of a sudden he says, "Come on, let's just go to the store there." So we went to that Rocky Boy store, and it was just a blistering hot day, and Oren, he just out of nowhere, I know where he got this long trench coat. He got this long trench coat, and he had some shades, and he goes into the store. After that, we're just, me, Dion, Mike, Wayne, we're just parked in the vehicle waiting for them and waiting for him to come out. Pretty soon, about 5 or 10 minutes left there. 5 or 10 minutes went by, and then all of a sudden Oren comes out, and he just comes walking real fast towards the vehicle, and he just goes, "Start it up, boys." So he jumps in there, and we just pulled out. Sure enough, we went back up into the mountains there, the Bear Paw Mountains, and he was just digging out, like he had a big bag, those big jumbo bags of chips. Pulls one out there, a loaf of bread, some bologna. What else? Some of those cinnamon buns there, and those foil, with the foil bottoms there. That there. That's the only time I condone stealing there. Because we're just starving, we didn't eat all day Wednesday. Thursday we finally got to eat. Sorry you had to hear about us stealing. That story was still the story kind of still goes on that weekend too. We were, our drum we had this octagon drum, and because it was so hot and we didn't know nothing about the drum, we're just learning on the fly. I remember the first couple of days, man, that drum was, when we hit it there, it was just going ping, 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 ping. And then we asked our buddies there that weren't singing, we said, "Go across the arbor over there and see how the speaker sounds, see if you can hear the speaker." And sure enough, they come back after while we're singing there, we just couldn't even hear ourselves sing. All we could just hear is the drum. Then when those guys came back, we told them, "Well, how did it sound?" They just shook their heads and they said, "Man, we couldn't even hear nothing from across the arbor. You couldn't even hear our speaker?" No. Maybe about halfway by the announcer stand there, when we got there, now we can just hear the drum just going bing, bing, bing. You couldn't even hear us singing? No. Even when we came behind the bleachers here, we could barely hear you guys. We're just so discouraged there. We were just thinking, "Geez, just come all this way," and we just really, oh well. Then but that night there, on Saturday night there, Edmund Bull on Red Bull, he asked me, "Hey, why don't you guys come set up by us tomorrow and borrow our speakers there? We're going to lend you our mic." So we did, and then also too, I had told one of the guys, I said, "I wonder if we can put water on the drum, try to cool it off. I guess it wouldn't hurt." So we did, we put some on there and finally got it sounding regular there. And sure enough, we're back on track there after a rough 3 days there. Those were just learning on the fly. But I was 20 years old when we started Blackstone. My brothers, they were all ranged down to 14. There was 4 guys that were 14, 2 guys that were 16, 18, and Dion here was already 30. Just hanging out with him. So no, Dion and Marv were the oldest ones. They were 22. So yeah, that's what was good.
Things just don't change.
An old story here. We were going to Powwow in Salt Lake City for the Olympics 2002, and we were driving down. There was myself, Rocky, Leo, and Dallas in my vehicle. I had a Jeep Grand Cherokee. We had just stopped in Butte, Montana to gas up. It was middle of the night, and Terry told Sage was just a little boy at the time. I think he was only 4 or 3 or something like that. He told him to jump in, and so he was in the back of the vehicle. He was sleeping, and I had a radar detector in my vehicle, but I had switched off the driving. Dallas was driving, and we were near Pocatello, and we got pulled over. Dallas was, hey boys, we're getting pulled over. And so we all sat up and woke up, and Sage was in the back. Like I said, he was just a little boy. He was sleeping in the back, and we had a blanket back there. I remember Leo telling him, Sage, don't move. Cops are coming. Just stay there. Just don't move. Don't say anything. So I remember looking behind me, and Sage was this little ball, just looking at us with one eye open. I don't know if he understood, but he was sleeping. And, so anyways, Dallas got a speeding ticket, and we cop left and said, okay, it's okay, Sage, we're okay now. Dallas got mad at me. He said, damn mate, your damn cheap radar detector doesn't even work. Got a ticket. And I said, that's because it's not on, and I turned it on. Coupled up that thing and threw it at the back.
Yep. Anybody else?
You were singing Sutter Street song from 99, but my dad had made this song back in 87, I guess, or 83. My dad made this song in 1983, but didn't show us till 1999, I think it was. When did we start singing that? 98, 99? There's a lot of stories though, but I can't even think of any. Some of them are too crazy. There was another place we started too, I think Standing Buffalo.
I'll tell this quick story there from Darian's home res, but back in 1988, we went to, where did we go first? Pipeline? No, Standing Buffalo. We went to Standing Buffalo, Powwow, 1988. So it wasn't a drum contest or anything, even though if it was, we probably played. But anyhow, I think we got paid after the powwow. I think we had $100 and we gave some to the other guys that were going back, and we told them, just like that the year before when we went to Fort Belknap to Rocky Boy, we thought, well, what's the use of going home? We'll just stay around down here and we'll go to we'll stay down here and go to a pie pot for next weekend. So we did that there, and then
once again, we went to that one town, what's that one town near Pipe Pot? I mean, by Standing Buffalo, there's a
Fort Capel?
Fort Capel there. We went there and they had a laundromat there. We went and washed clothes, and sure enough there, we had a truck with a camper, eh? Then on top of the camper there, we still piled stuff on top there too. Mike, then my one cousin Mike, there, one of our singers there, Mike Andrew, he was the one that did most of the loading. Like he was the one tying up everything, and that there, my us guys are just standing around watching him, passing him the stuff. Then we left. Sure enough, we left after that, and we got the Pipe Pot. And then I think we were gonna go to Regina, or we gassed up there. We were gonna gas up, and that's when Mike was looking in his shirt. He had a pocket there, and he couldn't find it there, and he was digging all over. We went back down that street there, and we're just looking for that $50, and because I gave him the $50 for gas. Just going to stay for a whole week there on $50. But that time there too, we starved. He lost that $50. After that, we had enough gas just to go drive through the valley there to go to Pipe Pot there, so we stayed there. Monday, we didn't even eat. Tuesday, I don't know if we ate once. I remember that because we had a few bucks enough to buy bread and bologna for one day. But I know by Tuesday we're starving, Wednesday we're starving. Finally Thursday, this family, no, was it Wednesday? This one family, I guess, must have pitied us there, and all of a sudden they came and dropped off a bucket of chicken for us. And on Thursday again too, we got to eat, they had a feast at the Powwow there for Pipe Pot there, they had a feast, and after that they're inviting us to come eat there. And after it was done too, they sent us back with the soup, with the whole big soup pot. And I said, oh, just take them to your camps and we'll come get them throughout the weekend there. So we're kind of idiots in our first year, but it was fun.
Your phone's at 20%.
20? That's good. We've got 15 minutes to go. 2 more songs. Well, give that one a shot last time to have to lose. You can do it, man. I'll write it down right after this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
noticed that other old song you sang at San Carlos a few years ago. You sang it again another day. And we got that one guy asked us to sing it. Whistles on it. Who went to San Carlos? 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Is that messy hair kid? You gotta know that. I remember about 4 years ago, you were host there, 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. Were you there? Maybe 2015 then, I think. Randy was there too, Randy and James, I think. James? Remember we just sang this last year? But it turns out it's an old song from 1993, I think, 93 or 94, but we never sang it.
Is it the choke cherry stories? Whole pack.
Joey was saying that we should try to sing more up tempo. What do you think about it? That's the old song. Remember, you know that one?
Ariel, I want you to sing a love song.
Hey,
Oh, it's there. Up there. Never mind.
Let's put the camera this way. Oh, Sage, Hoki said to tell them about his request. Hoki? He said to tell them about his request.
Thanks for everyone, whoever joined in today. Thanks for joining in, and it was a blast. Singing cool songs. When we started up for about 5 years, actually about 7 years, from 2005 to 2011, I sang straight songs. But from 2012 there, these guys wanted to sing word songs again, and that was one of the conditions I told them. I said I wanted to just sing new songs, only because I wanted new young singers. I never wanted to put them on pressure on them to try to relive those old moments. We already lived those moments in the past. Focus on going forwards, but I understand that a lot of people like to hear old songs, so you gotta tell me. I always tell people, you gotta tell my young singers there, if they learn the songs, we'll sing anything. Not me. Not this old world. So the last one here is composed by my little bro Randy. If nothing's coming on, join in with me.